no cap. Shout out to Published X and most importantly, Marcin. Shout out to y'all for tapping in. This video is the Curse of 1017. No one escapes Gucci Mane's label. Now it's been, I can't say put to light, but put in people's head from what they see that like Gucci Mane or his other artists either die, go to jail, or get dropped from the label. Like that's the whole thing with him. So a lot of people like be cracking jokes like, yo, he should sound like a country artist or like he should try to find a different route. But I feel like since he's from the streets, this is what he knows how to push. Like this is the type of artist that he knows how to push. Um he should kind of find a different lane because it's like, I mean, either way, he still makes money off the artist. He still makes money off the artist. So it's still in whatever favor for him. But without further ado, we gonna talk too much. We're gonna get straight into the video.
In Atlanta overnight and in the early morning hours as the city works to combat a spike in violent crime, police say someone shot and killed a man in a single vehicle wreck on the interstate.
The prosecutors say Pooh Shiesty was part of the group that ended up in this parking lot that October afternoon where the shots flew, and it happened right across the street from the police department and town hall.
Also, police are looking for the person who shot and killed a man in North Memphis, but they haven't identified the victim or the shooter at this time.
Rapper Big Scar has died. He was signed to Gucci Mane's label. Big Scar was
Rest
about
in
to go on
peace.
tour with Key Glock next year. He was just 22 years old.
Gucci Mane's 1017 might be the worst label an up-and-coming artist could sign to. The potentially cursed name is home to about a dozen artists, most of which probably thought their dreams came true after signing with a rapper as legendary as Gucci Mane. In an interview, he stated he's only looking for the raw street rappers that remind him of himself when he was coming up. The problem is, none of these artists are reaching the success they hope for because something mysterious happens to every single one of them shortly after signing. 5 days ago, his artist Mac Critter was arrested for a shooting that left someone dead, and now he's facing a possible life sentence only 2 months after signing to the label. While just a week before that, another one of his artists, Big Scar, passed away from a possible drug overdose. But let's begin by talking about Rallo Famgoon, who was one of the earliest artists signed to the new wave of 1017. Rallo had been making a name for himself in music after collaborating with artists like Future in 2015.
Ain't he supposed to be coming home in like a couple months or something like that?
But it was never his music that caught the attention of his followers, rather the stacks of cash and luxury living that he often flexed on social media. It was always clear that Rallo was a street dude first and a rapper second, but that's exactly what Gucci Mane looked for in an artist. His music was decent, but it wasn't pushing the kind of numbers that would justify him having $1 million worth of cash on him. He signed with Gucci Mane in 2017 and was hoping that this would be the push his music needed to go to the next level. But before that could happen, Rallo's home was raided. He was arrested for conspiracy to distribute more than 1 kilo of marijuana, along with money laundering charges. He was sentenced to 97 months in federal prison and has since been waiting for his release. Pooh Shiesty was definitely an artist with more potential than anyone else on this list, but still ended up suffering the same fate. After releasing his single titled Main Slime in March of 2019, he would catch the attention of Gucci Mane, and shortly after he was seen with multiple 1017 diamond chains around his neck. Unlike Rallo, Gucci Mane's cosign immediately paid off for Pooh Shiesty after the two collaborated on a number of songs. His career was quickly going to new heights and reaching the mainstream, but Pooh made it clear that at the end of the day he's still from the streets, and he and his crew Choppa Gang were making headlines for all the wrong reasons. It didn't matter that every major billboard in the country had his face on it promoting his up-and-coming album. Pooh Shiesty still robbed a guy in Miami during broad daylight who was trying to sell him weed and shoes, shot at him, sending him to the hospital, then sped off in a supercar before being arrested, bonded out, and leaving the state in a private jet. Now he's gonna spend the next 63 months behind bars. Despite this, Pooh Shiesty will likely still have a successful career after he returns home.
Of course.
Which is not the case for his cousin, Big Scar, who was also signed to the 1017 label, but unfortunately lost his life on December 22nd. Big Scar initially didn't have a passion for rapping, but got into it after his friend Baby K showed him the ropes. He spent $20 to record his first song and another $200 to film a music video to it. The song was titled Make a Play, and he was surprised when it received over 50,000 plays on YouTube in a short amount of time. Today, the song has over 13 million hits, and it's easy to see why Gucci Mane would have seen potential in him. Much like his cousin Pooh, after signing to 1017, Big Scar's career was looking promising. Within a year of rapping, he accomplished more than some people ever do. A Billboard charting mixtape and the cover of the 2022 XXL Freshman magazine spoke for themselves. Unfortunately, before he would get to reach his full potential as an artist, he was found dead at his girlfriend's house from a drug overdose. It's been said that he had been battling depression since the passing of his grandmother. Big Scar's story is sad in knowing that even if these artists survive the streets that they come from, they could still lose their life to the other thing that's plaguing hip-hop, which is drug use. Foogiano was supposed to be 1017's next big artist. He was the perfect fit for Gucci's label. He was from the streets and learned how to rap in prison, which helped him escape poverty. He signed to the label in 2020, and just like those before him, quickly found himself fighting for his freedom just months later. Foogiano was performing in South Carolina when one of his associates threw up a gang sign on stage. This ended up starting a fight with someone in the crowd, to which shots were fired. A security guard and an innocent woman were both killed in the altercation, leaving Gucci Mane and Foogiano in a lawsuit. In December of that same year, he was pulled over and arrested for having a gun on him. The judge ordered him to wear an ankle monitor, but Foogiano just couldn't live like that. Just one day after getting out, he cut it off and left it on the side of the road before going on a 3-month run from the cops. Instead of keeping a low profile, he filmed music videos and flexed cash all over social media, taunting the cops who were after him. Eventually, the US Marshals found him hiding in Memphis and took him in. He pleaded guilty to removing his ankle monitor and going on the run, to which the judge sentenced him to 5 years in prison.
Damn.
But Foogiano isn't the only artist from 1017 who ran from the cops. ODR Roadboy signed in 2020, but his career was short-lived. Shortly after signing, Roadboy went viral for a video that showed him near naked running from the police. He ran between houses before hiding in the bed of a pickup truck. A K9 unit quickly found him, but instead of giving up, he then climbed on the roof of someone's home. Police surrounded the home and eventually he was taken into custody. The reason for him running from the cops is unknown, but he ruined his relationship with Gucci Mane regardless. In 2021, he hopped on social media and claimed Gucci had given him a fake 1017 chain. This didn't gain him much attention, and since then he's pretty much been unheard of. Unlike ODR Roadboy, Coach the Ghost is a Brooklyn drill rapper that successfully ran from the police for almost 3 years. After releasing his breakthrough song Hitless and racking up millions of views, Coach the Ghost was picked up by 1017. Gucci Mane posted a clip from his music video on Instagram and said, "Anyone from New York, please put me in contact with this dude." Although his career looked promising, the rapper already had a long list of offenses dating all the way back to 2011. He was convicted of shooting a rival gang member in the Marcus Gravy houses in Brownsville and served 6 years in prison for it. While in solitary confinement, he learned how to rap. After being released in 2017, he was still set to be on parole until 2022, but failed to show up. And that's because he was busy making music and catching bodies still.
Whoa,
on March 13,
hold on,
2021,
that's federal. Hold on. Since they're still making music and catching bodies, whoa.
A teenager named Brian Sanson was on a walk with some friends when a silver sedan pulled up, shooting and killing him. Police said they immediately connected Coach the Ghost to the murder, but he had already fled the state to Georgia. Eventually they caught up with him and now he's facing serious allegations for the second time in his life. Coach the Ghost wasn't the only one who proved a 1017 deal wasn't enough to stay away from the streets though. Hot Boy West is an artist from Texas who signed around the same time but couldn't stay out of trouble. After joining 1017, Gucci Mane gifted Hot Boy a Rolex in celebration. Not long after, he tried to sell it and then robbed the person who was gonna buy it. The victim told police the two met up around 5:45 a.m. After he handed Hot Boy $9,000 in cash, he claims he drove off, knocking him over with the car door and speeding away. When the police eventually caught up with Hot Boy, he was found with a stolen gun on top of it. If that's not reckless enough, the year before he was also accused of trying to run his baby mama off the road while his kids were in the car.
Damn.
He claims he was just trying to talk to his kids, but eyewitnesses stated he used another car and almost ran them into a concrete wall. Gucci Mane stuck to his word when he said he only wanted to sign artists that really came from the streets like himself. But if they can't stay alive or free, it's only going to hold him back on the business side of things.
Man, I wonder, do he care? Like, or like for the artist that signed it to him, is the money enough, or is it like, and it's a good look, but I'm still going to do my thing in the streets because this is not enough. You feel what I'm saying? But I don't know. Let me know what y'all think about this. With that being said, appreciate y'all for the love and support. Love and love. Love is love. And I'm going to catch y'all in the next video.